Sneaker resellers are going broke. Bro, what am I kidding, bro? This shit not even plugged in. Let's get straight into the video.
Does anyone want to explain why shoes are literally just dying right now? I own a sneaker store and we've been struggling for the last couple months. And y'all can say, oh, it's because you over...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. These sneaker stores lately, bro, I don't know, bro. You know, they be overcharging and shit, like, should be crazy. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I saw this video, bro. It was like, you know, Traction Wise, he's like, give me my fucking money, give me my fucking money. He was like, and right, I saw that video and someone put that, me going to the sneaker resellers who was selling pandas for $400 in 2020 or some shit like 2019. And then, bro, nigga, you know, pandas are like $100-something. Gang, there was people selling pandas for $400, bro. I think people caught on to the scam. People did catch on to the scam, so I guess, like, you know, they probably losing money now, but shit.
Price things. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's a Yeezy. You're overpricing it. It's $110. Retails like 2-something. Market's like $190. I'm pricing it at $110. It's brand new.
Oh.
Sneaker resellers are down bad and now have to finally get real jobs. For over a decade now, sneaker reselling has went from a niche hobby into a culture that takes advantage of genuine
Why is this nigga sprinting in a Nike store, bro?
enthusiasts and collectors. Resellers convinced themselves that they were entrepreneurs running legitimate businesses, but they're just scalpers who add zero value to society. They buy up the products meant for consumers, pour them all into their moms.
Not gonna lie, that's some spicy talk. This nigga's calling them scalpers that add nothing to society is crazy. Let's see what he gotta say though.
Basement, and then just suck out the money from all the people who just want to wear the damn shoes. But luckily, now resellers are stuck with inventory that they can't move. Shoes that used to flip for $500 are now sitting at $200 or under with...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the shoe market is cooked right. I'm not saying it's cooked right now, but like I'm saying sneaker resellers are not getting the profit that they're looking for. That's why this video is made.
No buyers. These stores that built their entire business model around resale are now struggling to pay their rent. And the people who made it their full-time job are realizing that they're essentially unemployed with no transferable skills. For years, resellers operated under this delusion that they were running a legitimate business. They post on social media about their operations, their inventory, their profit margins. They like to talk about sneakers like they're trading stocks and they're a finance bro who lives in New York City. Resellers have now killed the community that they claim to love and be a part of.
Yeah, that customer wanted $100 for those dead stock Metallic 5s. I told him best I can do is $50 store credit. What's up, boss man? What can I do for you?
Yeah, bro, I just got these.
We got some Dunks and Easy 350s. People still wear these? All right. Oh, damn, this sucks.
Yo, sir, I can only give you $20 for that shit. Yeah, I'm out.
Scuffed as fuck. I'll do 75 for both. And that's a good deal.
Bro, what?
75 for damn. The way Yeezys fell, man. 2016 Yeezy. Bro, Yeezys used to be a band. Yeezys used to be a band, chat. I'm not even lying. Yo, man, with Yeezys, bro. But them Red Octobers, though. Them Red Octobers are still like, you feel me? Like, they're still like 5-6 bands. Like, it's the Yeezy V2s are still like bread, but I'm saying the regular Yeezy 350s, bro. Back then, I wanted those shit so bad, bro. I'm telling you, after 2018, 2019, bro, Yeezys just went down. I'm not gonna lie.
They're going for $500 each online right now.
No, bro, like, I get you, but like, they have no box. They're dirty. They're scuffs. There's dog shit on the bottom of this one. I'm doing you a favor.
I don't know.
You can't at least get a nigga like 150 for both for like shit.
I'll tell you what. Rock, paper, scissors. If I win, I'll give you $200 store credit. If you win, $150 cash. How's that sound?
Dude, what the fuck? You're kidding, right?
Hold that thought. Today's video is brought to you by...
I never seen a canceled ad. I never seen that shit. I was literally about to fucking skip that shit, nigga. I got Quick Draw Hall of Fame. Don't play with me. That shit was about to get skipped. But shit.
Oh, welcome in, bro.
Guess
How you
not.
doing today? All right. I guess I'll go
myself then, whatever.
Every pair that they bought to flip was a pair that didn't go to someone else who actually wanted to wear it. And now they're trying to throw a pity party saying that no one wants to buy their shoes. Every person who is into sneakers has at one point tried to get a limited pair of shoes to be able to wear for themselves, just to lose the raffles and have all of the pairs bought up by these greedy resellers who happen to have 200 pairs the same day that the shoe came out. The reseller mentality is all focused on the short term. They never had sustained
2K loss in only a day. Damn, niggas in the negatives, man.
sustainability or cared about building something that would actually last. All that mattered was making as much money as possible from other people before the hype dried up. And now that the sneaker market is dead, resellers are moving on and being scummy in other industries just like we would expect from them. Pokemon trading cards, toys, collectibles.
Oh, nah, the Pokemon trading cards, I dead try to get into that shit, bro. Oh, yeah, I dead try to get into that shit. That shit, you need money for that shit. Like, and I'm kind of broke. I'm not just kind of broke. I'm really broke, nigga.
Really anything that has that artificial scarcity and the potential to be able to resell. The only thing that mattered was making money and exploiting whatever market that they could just to profit. Look at all of the popular sneaker stores that used to be popular 10 years ago. They went from solely selling sneakers to now selling
Cool kicks, man. This nigga selling Labubus? Nah, he's selling Labubus.
Labubus and doing whatnot streams where they're pretty much begging people to buy overpriced toys. This is the most pathetic and desperate attempt to keep their business alive. They're trying to replicate the sneaker resale model in a different market, and they use the same
That shit real?
tactics because it is all focused on the same scarcity. And the thing is, every market that they touch, they will eventually destroy because their business model is just...
But not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro, with those lives. So I guess they put a timer and they count it down. I don't know how this shit works, but they put a timer and count it down, and I guess, like, if you're the last person bidding, you get it. So imagine if, like, you really, like, underpay for that shit. That could be a method, because I saw $150 for, like, a Louis V wallet, and that shit looked kind of good. Like, it's probably more than $150. I'm not gonna lie. Louis V be taxing.
unsustainable. They don't help the communities, they don't create value, and they don't contribute anything positive. And then they move on to the next thing. And we could see the same exact pattern happen right now with Pokemon cards. A few years ago, these same people began flooding into the trading card market whenever they saw the prices start to explode. The vintage Pokemon cards that sat in binders for years suddenly became worth thousands of dollars. And the resellers saw this as an opportunity to make more money. They bought up everything they could, from booster boxes, ETB.
Yeah, Pokemon cards is the new, that's the new shit, man.
These individual cards, any sort of sealed product. But the same thing is happening now that always happens whenever resellers join a market: oversaturation. The Pokemon company has started printing more, and the supply is finally catching up with the demand. And now a lot of the cards that we're selling for thousands of dollars are barely moving for a fraction of the price. And these Pokemon card scalpers are now stuck with all the inventory that they couldn't sell, just like the resellers with sneakers. We've seen this same exact pattern repeat across multiple industries. And the worst part is they're gonna do this again and again with every single industry until people stop buying from them. It's so pathetic to see how many resellers have moved on to Labubus and Pokemon cards whenever their market died. The main problem is greed, and they become a plague to every single hobby that they touch. For years within sneakers, Nike and other brands carefully controlled the supply of their most
Shit. Jordan shoe release line crazy. Yeah, that shit crazy, man.
hype releases. They intentionally put out limited quantities, they did exclusive collaborations, they even did regional drops only coming out in certain parts of the world, and all of this was designed to create that sense of urgency. The more scarce that the products are, the more they drove demand.
Damn, feeding for them fives. Wait, are those 12s, 11s? I don't know if those, I don't know. What? I think those are 11s. I don't know.
And then that demand later translated into increased prices on a secondary
Nigga, sit on the floor with white great pants, my nigga. Shit.
market. But then everything shifted a few years ago. Nike realized how much money that they were actually leaving on the table. They could make way more money just by flooding the market. So instead of releasing one colorway of a popular...
That's mad pandas, bro. Watch niggas charge $300. I'm walking out the store. Look, If anything, if I see a digit other than a 1 for pandas, it's out. Raps.
shoe every year. They started releasing one every month. Dunks,
$250? They scamming.
Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s, all of these shoes that were previously always hyped and had resale value were just being pumped out and oversaturated. And when Nike increased the supply, it was actually a really positive thing for everyone. The resellers loved it because they were able to grab up more pairs and have more opportunities to make money. And the consumers also had more releases and a higher number of stock to actually be able to get the shoes that they want. But eventually the market hit that saturation point. Really, consumers only have so much money and so much space in their closet. It's like whenever you own 10 pairs of Dunks or even 10 pairs of Jordans, that 11th pair doesn't really feel as special as it used to. The resellers kept buying and they stockpiled hundreds of pairs, expecting to flip.
So that kind of like, they thought they hit a gold mine when Nike increased the stocks, Pokemon increased their stock. They thought, damn, we could sell all these shoes now. But no. Little did they realize oversaturation, bro. That shit killed them in the end, and they gotta start returning these shits because everyone's buying, the shit from the regular stores and not resellers no more, because resellers be overcharging. But when they increase the stock, you feel me? Now we can buy from the regular stores and now they have it. So why would I buy from a reseller if you're overcharging me? You charge me $250 for Dunks? No, we not doing that. Like, that Tracks NYC, bro, that Tracks NYC clip, bro, that shit had me weak, bro. That shit was like, give me my fucking money. Like, you feel me? Not gonna lie, I feel like if you paid $400 or $300 for pandas, you should go back to that store and ask for your money back, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Cause that's literally a highway robbery, bro. That's a robbery. That's literally a robbery without no gun. An unarmed robbery. That's what we're calling that shit.
Them for profit down the line. But the demand never really came back. Or really, the demand did come, but it was met with so much supply that the prices stayed at or below retail. Resellers are now finding themselves sitting on a mountain worth of dead stock with no buyers. Once Nike realized that they could restock anything and they could still make insane amounts of money, consumers realized that they don't have to pay resale anymore because the shoes will eventually come back.
Literally, this is what I said, bro. Because the shoes will come back. Only reason why people buy from resellers is because Nike be running out of stocks. Nike. So basically, Nike's kind of smart for doing this. They're literally killing the resellers game. Because like, let's say if Nike didn't restock shit, you would have to go to resellers to buy overpriced shit. But Nike realized, if we restock shit and put it at normal price, people are still gonna buy it. You feel me? Wait, did I just realize this nigga got Yeezy V2s in the back? Oh, I see. He got some shoe game. I just realized this nigga got some shoe game, bro. Shit, man.
Out, or another sneaker will drop just next week that will come out that they'll have the chance to buy at or below retail. For years, the market grew because consumers had that disposable income and they were willing to drop hundreds of dollars on shoes. We all know how hard inflation has hit within the last couple of years. Cost of living has increased across the board. Rent is still going up. Groceries are insanely expensive, and so are gas prices. Suddenly, the average consumer just can't justify spending $400 on a pair of Jordans when their paycheck is already stretched thin just covering their basic necessities. The resellers never planned for this. In fact, they were scaling at this point. They capitalized on the market and assumed that people would always be there to buy their shoes. But whenever someone is faced with the choice of paying rent and just surviving or buying that brand new pair of Jordans, we all know what 99% of people are going to do. But now we are seeing so many resellers actually complaining about the economy killing their business whenever they were the ones who were price gouging people, especially during some of their hardest times financially. I think it's ironic as much as it is pathetic. This has just exposed how fragile their entire business model really was from the start. Resellers who quit their jobs to flip shoes full time are now finding themselves with no income and no way to pay their bills. The dumbasses who took out loans to buy inventory in bulk are now going underwater, and they're unable to sell the stock that they've been hoarding for years for even a fraction of what they paid. Reselling is never a stable career path. It's kind of always been like that gold rush where people are making money selling the shovels, not actually going and doing the work and finding the gold. These people are idiots who deserve to go broke at this point, and it is straight delusional to think that people will feel bad whenever you've been.
This nigga hates sneaker resellers. He must have got scammed. I'm not gonna lie, some nigga must have got that nigga. It must have been that Cool Kicks nigga. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Shit, man. To each their own.
Taking advantage of them for years. And the market crash wasn't just because Nike started pumping out more shoes. A big part is the quality control problem. We've seen so many posts online of glue stains, misaligned stitching, and just creased leather that comes straight out of a brand new box. That is just unacceptable for most people. People no longer trusted that they were getting a premium product. They stopped believing in the shoes that they were buying and thinking it's worth the inflated prices. And we could talk about
Nike. Not gonna lie, Nike stopped caring, bro. Not gonna lie, if you're number one, bro, do you really need to give a fuck no more, man? Niggas not, they're not hungry no more, bro. I'm not gonna lie, they're not hungry no more. So some shoes might come out like that. So I don't know what to say, man.
all of these different factors, but the simple fact of it is that trends change. But now consumers, especially the younger kids, are moving towards different styles. They're more focused on comfort and affordability rather than hype.
Wait, pause, bro. Did you just let another nigga spin you around?
Think about all the brands that are blowing up right now, like Hoka, On Running, and New Balance, and it's all because that they're offering something different and innovative that we haven't.
Not gonna lie, New Balance. I'm telling you, used to get clowned for wearing New Balance. Well, you used to get clowned for that shit, bro. Now everyone wants to wear New Balance, bro. Cool to me. Cool to me. Cool to me, nigga. Let me stop.
Seen before. The resellers always assumed that Jordans and Dunks would be in demand. They thought that this hype would last forever, but even the term hype in general by definition is temporary. Gen Z doesn't really have the same attachment to Jordans like millennials do. We never watch Michael Jordan play basketball in real time, and there's not really a nostalgic attachment to the 90s basketball culture that made sneakers really popular in the first place. For a lot of the younger kids, Jordans are kind of just what their parents wore. They're not willing to pay $400 for a shoe just because it has the Jumpman or Nike Air logo. They want something that reflects their own identity and their own culture, not something that was passed down to them by their parents.
People are moving away from Jordans for more like fit pics. So you feel me? A lot of people are like, "Oh, why you still wearing Jordans? Take a picture with Jordan." You feel me? Like, I don't know. Some people are just, like, trying to move away from Jordans. Like, I don't know. People trying to wear like more New Balance, some other shit like Ricks, designer, like. Times just changing, man. Niggas gotta adapt. I'm not gonna lie. It's adapt or die. That's literally what it is. Adapt or die, bro.
And personally, I've seen so many other kids moving on to affordable alternatives or just buying reps rather than paying the ridiculous resale prices. Reps and fake sneakers have become so socially acceptable because at this point they look exactly like the real thing. No kid in high school.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I might just start getting reps, bro. Ooh, I should have told you that.
$100 to their name is willing to save up money for a Travis Scott whenever they can just buy a fake pair on some Chinese website for under $50. It's almost cooler for some kids to have a pair of Adidas Gazelles or even some Tims over having that newest Air Jordan release. And it's so satisfying now that the sneaker resellers are actually losing money. But one of the most irritating and false narratives of resellers is that they think that they're entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship involves creating actual value.
I know this nigga's yelling, bro. You can just tell.
Solving problems and building something that didn't exist before. Whenever you buy something that already exists and just mark up the price, you're just a scalper. Resellers love to present themselves as these business-minded hustlers talking about growing their empire. They show off their inventory like it's a portfolio. They talk about them like they're investments. But if you strip away all this fake branding and marketing, they're just buying shoes and selling them at a higher price. Real entrepreneurs take risks. They invest time, money, and effort into building something that actually provides value to others. And it's so frustrating seeing all of the dying businesses and resellers complain that no one can afford to buy their shoes anymore. They're making all of these pity posts on social media and acting entitled. I've seen resellers posting their sob stories about how they're struggling now, how they can't afford to pay their bills, how they don't know what to do anymore. And while I don't wish financial hardship on anybody, I feel like there's consequences that need to be addressed. If you built your entire income around a resale business model, you shouldn't act surprised whenever the bubble bursts. And this fake entrepreneurship narrative has also done so much damage, especially to younger kids who looked at resellers and thought that it was a viable career path. These kids in high school and college started reselling thinking that they could quit their jobs and make a livable wage.
I'm not gonna lie, bro, with these resale stores, like, you know, like Spider, Hellstar, I feel like, bro, they only, like, can get money because Hellstar, Spider, like, brands like those, bro, they never restock. Wait, do they even restock, bro? I feel like they're always sold out. Like, you can never buy it for retail or some shit on the website. feel like you go on the website, that shit is always sold out, bro. That's why these resale stores are like a thing, because they just think like they can just drop. You know what I'm trying to say? The demand is way more than the supply. Demand's way more than the supply. Then, you feel me? You're gonna have to go to third parties. You feel me? They don't have enough. I mean, I don't know if they have enough supply to really like give everyone what they want. Because, you know, Hellstar, if you go on Hellstar is way cheaper than you buying it at the fucking mall or some shit, or from a random store. You know what I'm trying to say? Online. It's probably like half the price. A $200 hoodie in Hellstar is probably like $450 at the mall, $500. I'm telling you, bro. Bro, I was at the mall, bro, and they were selling denim tears for like $600-700, bro. Like, bro.
Just by flipping shoes. And now those same kids are realizing how many years that they've wasted. They've developed a skill set that is essentially worthless in every other industry. This is an insult to actual entrepreneurs.
It's probably like $500. I don't know if it was like probably $500.
And it's insane how many of these resellers have now adopted the victim complex. They're out here acting like they're the ones who've been wrong, like they're the victims of some unfair market shift or some external force that they couldn't control. But it was all because of their own greed. Resellers are posting videos complaining about how the market is dead, how they're struggling to...
They got some Supreme hoodie on though. I like see that from you, twin. Let us see that from you.
Sell inventory, how nobody wants to buy for them anymore. They're just begging for sympathy on the internet. This whole victim mentality is absurd whenever you consider that the resellers actively contributed to killing the market themselves. They oversaturated the secondary market with inventory, and they never really cared about the actual consumers. And now they're taking on this identity of being small business owners being crushed by massive corporations like it's something that they couldn't control. And the simple fact of it is, these resellers who quit their full-time jobs just to sell shoes have no legitimate skills. You can't add it on your resume that you flipped Yeezys for 3 years thinking that you're going to impress anyone. Resellers who are now being forced
he got a nice shop, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then it's just Chrome Yeezy. They got Chrome on.
real jobs are discovering this the hard way. They spent years, or in some cases even more than a decade, doing something that provided them with zero transferable skills. I feel like if you put reselling on a resume, you'll literally just look like a joke to any average person who's not involved in the community. They could have been developing real skills, getting internships, or building actual work experience. You know, creating an actual foundation.
Not gonna lie, sneaker reselling is a huge risk, bro, because it's like, bro, you gotta pay bills to even like have the fucking you feel me, have the store, all this other shit. You may not get good business, but internships, you feel me, you're not gonna lose money from internships. Shit, you gonna gain money. You feel me? Internships is good, man.
Career. Instead, they spent that time flipping shoes, and now they're in their mid-20s with nothing to show for it except a closet full of dead stock sneakers. The reality is these sneaker resellers who quit their day jobs wasted years of their life on a scam. Rather than learning trades, developing a career, or building an actual business, they chose to be the middleman and scalp people for all of the money that they have. And now they're finally paying the price, and this is just awesome to see. But what's worse is that they still don't give up, and some resellers still haven't learned from all of the previous cycles that we've seen in hype. They're trying to pivot to other resale markets, still chasing after that unsustainable model and refusing to get real jobs. They're addicted to the idea of easy money, and it's just delusional. Stores that literally made millions of dollars a year in profit reselling shoes are going bankrupt. The only ones who are genuinely making it now are the ones who are pivoting to other products like Pokémon cards. And I genuinely
Bro, some damn Pokemon cards. I'm telling y'all, man, that's the future, man. I'm telling y'all.
Feel bad for all of the people who are in these other markets that are now being infiltrated by all of these sneaker resellers. Imagine being into Pokemon cards for years before the hype, then the hype explodes out of nowhere, and now you can't even walk into a store and buy a single pack for your kid. But at the end of the day, the sneaker resale market has shown us that it never should have existed in the first place. Resellers convinced themselves that they were entrepreneurs building legitimate businesses, but now they're finally having to go and apply for real jobs. The resellers who quit their jobs, maxed out their credit cards, took out loans, signed leases on their stores, and pretty much just gambled their entire finances on sneaker reselling now have to face reality and realize that the bubble has finally burst. The sneaker community is much better off with all of the resellers. Regular consumers who actually want to buy the shoes now can, and now we can see who is actually into sneakers for the fashion and the culture and the love of it versus the people who only cared about money. The culture can now rebuild itself from the ground up around genuine enthusiasts of sneakers rather than the profit. The releases that are happening now go to the people who actually care about wearing the shoes, not just flipping them. And I know it might sound hypocritical with this sneaker wall behind me, but I've been collecting sneakers for over 10 years since I was in middle school. I'm not gonna lie, I have been trying to downsize my collection a little bit recently, and as someone who's been directly involved within the sneaker culture before and after this big boom, I can say for certainty that this is good for everyone except the sneaker resellers. But regardless, I'm happy that everyone who just wants to get a pair of shoes for retail can just now walk into a store and get.
So at the end of the day, the only one that's losing is sneaker resellers. Now we can get our shit at retail, man. So I need to buy more shoes, man. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm broke. So, you know, time will come. My time will come, though.
Get them without having to deal with all the extra bullshit. But let me know what you think. Have you ever resold anything before? I feel like there's a big difference between selling something here and there versus the people who make it their actual careers. And now we're seeing it with grown men scalpers who are doing the same with Pokemon cards. But luckily the market is crashing and the world is healing. And if you like content like this, feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel that are similar to this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
That was a good video, I'm not gonna lie. But yo, hope y'all enjoyed that, man. You know, like, subscribe, all that shit. You feel me? I'ma catch y'all.